Wow, welcome back to the last video, and this is something we're going to watch and we're going to listen to, but at the same time we're going to decide on. But first, a quick reminder, because what you've done so far is amazing. Number one is all about me and what I put together, but then number two is all about you and what you can do, and then we had three, which was all about you, me, which is we. But then after that there was number four, and number four was all about how does it work. But you know what, even after number four we have another one, which is five, and five is all about why should you join. And you know, building and managing a business isn't easy, but first we're going to show you how members can improve that. But same principle, when you've got advisors and you've got people experienced who share, this could help you so much. And so far it's been quite different because you have spent all of your time so far doing things that other advisors haven't done. You started looking at things, you started thinking about things, and now you're getting ready to decide on things. And this is going to be interesting for you because what we're going to do in an example, we're going to have to be focusing on important areas, which is what do advisors do when they join, but also what do they do when they start getting things provided for them, but also what do they get from it. But not just those three, there's more than that, but on this side, and that's all about how. And we're looking at how do they use it, and how has it helped them, and how do they feel about it. So all that said, I'm going in to use these in another room, and you're going to follow me through because we're going to do a demo at a certain level, see how it's all put together as we make progress through it. I'll see you over there. So we're in the big structural room now, and all this here is the stuff we need to look at, and that we're going to populate. But how does it work? Because as a member, over time, as I'm going through it each week, I started to receive things, and these are the jigsaws I started opening and looking at the content. But then when I did that, I started to watch the video, and I was even doing this on the way to work because I'm a very busy person, and I started looking at the tools and the tips, and I was downloading things, but I didn't want it to be too many of them because I'm a busy person. But then once I'd done one and two, I started to score it, and I threw them back in, and I started looking at them, but it was important for me to do it the right way, I felt. And this is how it works, because they're supporting me and giving me stuff, but I'm interested to see what it comes back with. And you know, I agree with some things and I didn't agree with others. But this structure needs to start first with bronze, and we just want to know how bronze works and how it feels. So for the bronze bit, I'll see you in a sec. Well, this is the entire bronze bit, you know, and I started looking at this and going through it, and I did everything we said over there to get it right, but I also scored it a certain way, and this has started to help me a lot because I started to notice things that are going on, and I started to think about things, but I closely started to record information, and I started to inspect, and I actually started to detect things that was happening, and then I started to discover things I wasn't sure about. But this also helped me understand things properly, and you know what? I started to feel a lot more confident and organized, especially a bit of interest. And I got to know things more quickly. So I identified things and I made me fully aware of, and I want to focus on things that are specifically for me, but I paid a lot more attention on things, on the important areas. But I did all this and sent it off, and I will follow it to silver, and I'm gonna go now. Well, now we're in silver, and I started again, and we started to look at things, and some things I'm still a bit uneasy about, but at the same time I started to look deeper, and I also started to measure things, and not just that, exploring things, because there were some issues that I identified, and I started to visualize, and I recognized other bits that were relevant for me, and I started assessing things in a different way because I became much more aware, and this has helped me think about things. And you know what? I start to feel a lot more positive and even quite a bit determined. So then, you know what? I realized, I believed that things are very relevant for me, and I want to consider and I want to contemplate what's the right thing to do when. But I started suggesting things and even advised myself on how to push further forward. So I want to go to the next level. I want to follow it through. See you soon. Right, now I'm in gold, and I started again and I started focusing on important areas and I began to prioritize things, but I was also very determined to start to conclude a solution that would make things work for me in the right way. But I also forced myself a bit to focus on areas that I know I need help with, and I started to feel a bit more satisfied with myself, and I was actually a bit impressed with myself. And this has helped me decide on things so much. And you know what? I started to feel a lot more confident and a lot more motivated. Well, so then, you know what's happened? I started to apply things properly. I started to make changes and I started to correct things. And this means I started to improve, I started to manage, I started to control, and even started to evolve properly. So I want to go further with this. I want to follow it through, and I'm going to the other side. Well, we're in this side now, and this side is important because it's going to help you decide, and you're going to decide what you're going to do next. But we've come so far and we're nearly getting towards the end. But at the same time, I just want to check this message has got across to you. And I think it has, but it's all about what does Advisor Evolution do? And also, what can you do with it? And even what does it do for you? And I think you do get that very well, but you want to know a bit more. And also, how can you use it and how can it help you? But there's one more H left, which is how do you join? And first of all, we just want to know, would you put your hand up and say, yes, you would? And then when we launch and we get it going, we're going to bring you in and you're going to set up your own account and get it working. But at the same time, I need to explain there's a bit of a fee. And we've got to explain these fees properly. It's very important. So what happens is we start to have a little fee per month that keeps you running and going, and you get there to work. But lots of other helpful businesses charge lots, from hundreds to thousands, just for 1 or 2 days. But at the same time, we're just doing a little bit per month, and that is £199. And I know that's so cheap, but at the same time, because you've got an invitation, you're going to get 25% off that. And you're going to follow that through and see how it works. And believe it or not, this is not quite a fee. This is an investment from you to build the business and make it work better. My confidence is, I'm pretty sure you're going to make that and get the feedback straight away. But let's see what happens, because this is something else I just want to explain to you. This is another message I want to get across, and it's the last one, but I'm going to see you on the other side again. Right, and now we've got the box with us that I'm going to show you inside, and this is all about your mind and what can happen from all the effort you've put in on Advisor Evolution so far. And I'm going to look, because me looking for things in here can be difficult, but I found it straight away, and it's all about this. And this is the spark in your mind that's been created from looking at things and understanding and listening to things. These things have gone in your mind and you sparked off amazing ideas, because you've then started to discover ways of doing things that you didn't know about. But you might also, and you've started to get to a point where you're also thinking about things sooner than others. And you might also take on and apply things. That means we can push things further forward sooner. But you might also realize how to manage and control things in much better ways. And it may help you build a business much more efficiently than others. But at the same time, if you didn't join, it would change, because you might overlook things. You might not realize things in important ways. You might also miss out on things that you could have done but you didn't. You might also think, I could have downloaded things and taken them away, but you can't. And it might also be that you have problems you weren't aware of, and the results you wanted take much longer to achieve than they could have done. But you might also be in a position where you started to wish that I'd become a member of this when I was invited. And I hope that's not you, not the case. But anyway, this is just a quick example from me, from experience, and now we've got one more to do, and this is where you're going to decide on something now. We're going to see you in a second. Right, this is the exit bit, and at the same time, just to get that message across, I hope it has, because personally for me, I did the best I could to try and help you make a decision if something's right for you. And you know what, it's something that I personally would like to do. I want to help people as much as I possibly can. And after 19 years of doing this and putting it together and building myself, it's something that I did want to share as much as I possibly can. And also, you know what, I wish I had this available to me. But anyway, you just now need to choose, and we're going to take it from there. So you can choose A, B or C. And the first one, A. And this is all about just to raise your hand and just to say, yes, I want to join. And my invitation is there and I want to accept it. Or you might choose B. And B is all about, it's not really for me. B's not really for me. But you know what, I might actually just share this and send it to somebody else, and they'll be very impressed with me for sharing this, but I think it would help somebody else. But if it's not A and it's not B, it's going to be C. And C is just a quick exit and it's a goodbye, right? So we're going to go with A, B or C. And hopefully this has helped you, made you think about things a bit, but maybe I'll see you again. And just for now, I'll see you later. But I'm just going back in because, you know, I've got a lot to do. So hopefully I'll see you soon. See you. Sorry, I've just actually forgot. And there was a real life example I wanted to remind you about, but if you're still there, it was all about him. And he was there because in a real life example, there was something that people wanted to follow. And they wanted to see where that was going, and he was going to be very late for a very important date. And there's a little principle about that I know you think's weird, but some people will know what I mean and some won't. So if I see you as a member, I'll remind you. But also, if you know what I'm doing, I think you'll join. But anyway, I'll leave now.